Ligger den bordet, nu got on you, toot toot. Den bordet, nu got on you, toot toot. Ligger den bordet, nu got on you, toot toot. Ligger den
Hi, I'm Jay, and you probably need to get earphones because I have a potty mouth. I'll try my best not to be like that though, because I'm trying to get monetized. Wink, wink. All right, important topics. So I don't know what I'm gonna caption this video yet, but I think I might say I get the guy. Now, I might do some hyperbole. If you don't know what that means, get a dictionary. There will be some hyperbole here because it very easily could be that situation. I won't tell you where the exaggeration is, but quite easily these situations could be as I state them in this video. But yeah, let's talk about some serious topics. So I'm 27. I recently turned 27, and I have been living with the most feared sexually transmitted infection for over 10 years. I got a diagnosis when I was 17 years old. I was a late bloomer, so I started having sex at 16, and then I got that news at 17. Which one is it, you say? No, it's not HIV, it's not AIDS, even though you can actually die from those. It seems to be perfectly fine. No, thankfully. It's not what it used to be back in the 80s, but still, herpes has been around long before Shakespeare. He wrote a play about it for all the people who know about that. Wink. But it's still highly stigmatized. You're like, oh, you're a prostitute, or you have a lot of sex, or you're a whore, or you're for the streets. If you should have this issue, if you should have a cold sore or have genital for warts as well, which is just weird to me, but people really stigmatize it. And it's the weirdest thing for me because this is gonna blow your minds. I got diagnosed at 17, and I have had over 600 sexual partners since my diagnosis, and they all know about it, and they all choose to stay. All of them. No, I did something wrong. I'm gonna be honest. There's this one person that I kind of love him, but I hate him. So I was very childish and irresponsible in not telling him initially. I hinted at it, but I didn't tell him initially. And after we did the deed, you can guess, without a condom, I told him, and I let him know that in preparation for us going to have sex, I prepped myself similar to how a woman that gets pregnant and is planning to deliver vaginally would prep herself. I prepped myself, which I did, but I just wanted to see what choice he would make, if he would be responsible in putting the condom on like I asked him to, or if he would just choose to just be a man, because over 600 partners, and they all of them chose to have sex with me without a condom. Every single one. Let that sink in. Anyway, so I'm really sick right now. I'm in my, see that? Helps them. But I tested positive for both types, and I've never had any outbreaks here, but I do remember growing up having them. 4 years old, 5 years old, I remember having them. But how did I get it? I was sexually molested by somebody when I was too young to be sexually active, and it's somebody that's in my family. And recently I saw him and I realized that he had a cold sore, and he used to perform oral sex on me as a little girl. And I caught it. I swear that's how I caught it. I got it there, and I get outbreaks there. And I think from being reckless at 17, I also got type 2, which is the one completely restricted to your genitals. I was in a committed relationship. We got tested, but unfortunately, when you're doing an STD test, you have to specifically ask for a herpes test. And if you ask for one, your doctor is going to ask you if you've ever had any outbreaks. And if you've never had one, they probably recommend that you don't get it, because they test for antibodies, and if you don't have a breakout, you wouldn't have antibodies. So it's just the weirdest sexually transmitted infection in the world. But all this information, there's no way you can possibly know unless you are affected by it, unless you go on a rabbit hole. Like, some people will go down a rabbit hole and do that, but for me, I didn't know that you had to get that. So like, we did the HIV and gonorrhea and syphilis and chlamydia. I think those were the 4 that they tested for. And we decided that we're going to be monogamous, and we were having sex unprotected. I was 17 years old, and I guess he had it, and I had my outbreak after when me and him started dating. That's when I had a huge outbreak. It was so bad, I had to go to the doctor, and he diagnosed it. I cried. I thought my life was over. And then a couple weeks after, I decided to live. I told my mom, the only person in my family. I told her because I just needed to tell somebody. And then I started living. And I just felt like he knew about it deep down in my heart. Till this day, I think he knew about it, and he just didn't tell me. And for that reason, I was kind of really hurt, and I decided that I'm gonna make sure that I tell everybody except this one guy, because we're humans and we're disgusting. And if you think you're perfect, you really shouldn't be watching this video. And I'm sad with myself that I did it, but it happened, and I'm so sorry that I did it that way. But I tried to be honest with everybody else, and I promise you, every single person. There's this one guy that he made sure that we used a condom. Well, I made sure because he wanted me to like do the suppression medication, but what happened is I chose not to, because I didn't want to get on birth control, and I just prefer to use a condom where I know that there's nothing else to even worry about, not just the transmission, but like no babies. And I just didn't like birth control. So that was the one guy. But everybody else, we be smashing raw, and they all know that I have herpes. Every single guy, again, except that one guy. But they say it's 1 in 7 people that have it. If you should ask me, I think it's 7 out of 10 people that have some version of it. And why do I say this? I dated 3 doctors. I dated a doctor in Jamaica. I dated a doctor here in the United States. And then I'm friends with another doctor who is from Jamaica. And it's just a conversation that I'm naturally, when you have something affecting your life, you're very invested in it. So I've been having this conversation with these people, and the frequency in which these things present themselves, and the fact that testing isn't done in the appropriate way. It's not an explorative test. That's how they do the test as it is right now, for proof, not to explore. So for that reason, I genuinely think that there's so many more people that are affected by it, and I just think we should literally take the veil from off our faces and stop being so judgmental, because honestly, just stop, because it's just nonsense. Honestly, it's really nonsense. And yeah, the real story, which will be way more heart-wrenching that can be way more detailed, I will upload that if you guys would prefer. But this is just like an exaggeration to show what my experience has been. And yeah, as well, I don't care. I think it will probably help me with like the algorithms and stuff. So comment the hate messages as well. I'm fine with that. And I'm down for us to have a discussion. Let me know solid questions that you want answers to. I have access to so much wealth of information. I have the best team of doctors around me. Point, by the way, I have a son, and he's 2 years old soon, and he gets tested. He got tested at birth, and we did a test for him at 2 months, and we did a test for him recently, when he turned 1, and all of his tests, oral, genital, all of them are negative. So your life is fine. Just in case there's somebody watching this video that feels like their life is done and like the end of the world, I promise you, if there's 8 billion people in the world, over 3 billion of them have this condition. I feel confident saying that. I have confidence in the information I'm giving to you, and we're living, and we're existing, and we're living our lives and being fine, and we're happy, and I'm happy, and I have a husband, and I told him about it, and he decided that he wanted me to be the mother of his child, and it's fine. I swear. So I'm just ranting. This is just a rant. I don't think I'm gonna edit this video. I just want to rant about this, and we can put together a little bit something a little bit more factual. I'll make it nice and tidy for you guys if you think this is a topic that we should be having a conversation, a more open conversation about. But yeah, wink wink. Comment, subscribe, like, and let me know what you think. And you guys have a great rest of your day from Miss Pacific Northwest, even though I'm Jamaican. So the 876 is the Jamaican area code, and I'm currently living in Washington, the state for the serial killers. This is why I have to be honest, because if I don't tell them, they're gonna serially kill me, and I don't want that, all right? Anyways, bye guys.